Hi guys, this is the 7th part of this series. In my last part, I showed you and explained you the basics of layers inside Adobe Photoshop. In this part, I will start from the same point where I left in my last part. So make sure you have seen my 6th part. So let's start. I have this layer 0. Above this layer I have hue saturation effect that has been applied onto that image that is on layer 0. Above this hue saturation layer I have layer 1 that has some drawing that I have drawn with this brush tool. So first of all, you can see that before these layers I have this eye icon. What it does is it hide and show everything that is on to that layer. So I will click it. You can see that it has been hidden. In order to show it again, I will click again in order to show it again. Alright, so in order to create new layers, you can see that this is the icon that you need to click on if you want to work more fast. You need to learn the shortcut key, and the shortcut key for creating new layer is Control Shift and N. Alright, it will ask you to enter the name of new layer, so I will go with the same name. I will click OK. It will create a new layer above the layer that is being selected. Alright, the layer 1 was selected, so the new layer has been created above this layer 0. Alright, in order to delete any layer, what you need to do, you need to right click and click delete layer, or you can drag this layer onto this icon. Alright, so you can see that layer has been deleted. So the third thing that I want to tell you, that in order to apply this hue saturation effect that I did it with this icon, you can also work with these other effects as well that I will explain you later on in my videos, but I just wanna let you know that you can check it out by your own as well. So right now I have just applied this hue saturation effect onto this image. Alright, in my last video I told you that whatever we apply effect onto that image, that is drawn, that is applied on everything that is below that particular layer. What I mean is this hue saturation effect is being applied onto the objects that is on the layer 2 and as well on the layer 0. Alright, so what if I want to apply this hue saturation effect on that particular image that is below that layer? Alright, so what first I will do is I will draw something on layer 2. I will select the brush tool, and then I will go and change the color to red, and then I will draw this red color. Alright, now you can see that on layer 0 I have the image, on layer 2 I have this circular icon. Okay, now I have told you that this hue saturation effect is being applied on to the objects that are on layer 0 and layer 2 as well. What if I want to apply this hue saturation effect just on the objects that are on layer 2, means on that circle? Alright, what I will do is I will click this layer and select it, then I will right click it and click on create clipping mask. Alright, you can see that my previous image has been changed to default because I have checked this layer, this hue saturation layer, to be applied on to very first layer that comes below that particular layer, means this hue saturation effect is only being applied on the layer 2. In order to apply this effect on layer 0, I need to drag it right here, and this effect now is not being applied on layer 2 because that is above that layer, and is being applied on the object that is on the layer 0. Alright, so this was very important concept. Make sure you do it by your own in order to understand more and try to play with it as much as you can. So the fourth thing that I want to tell you, that we can also group our layers inside Adobe Photoshop. If you are working on large project that contain hundreds of layers, it's always a good practice to manage layers well and name layers well. Right now I have just left it with the default names layer 0, layer 2, hue saturation 1, and so on. So what I will do is I will select this layer, then I will create a new layer above this layer, then I will select this brush tool, I will change its color, and then I will draw a new circle. Alright, I need to click more than one time because the flow has been decreased to 64, now it's 100. I will create a new layer, I will change its color, and then I will draw one more circle right here. You can see that the object that is drawn on layer 4 is hiding the everything that comes under this layer. Layer 3 is in the between and layer 2 is the below one. Alright, now what are these layers showing? These layers are showing circles of different colors. I want to manage these layers and name it well. Alright, first I will double click the name of this layer, layer 2, and change its name to red circle. Alright, and change its name to blue circle. And same is the green circle. So the names of these layers are showing that what are these layers for. Now I will select all these layers. So in order to select these layers, I need to select this layer, then I will press Ctrl, click this in order to select this layer as well. In order to select the green layer as well, I need to keep on pressing Ctrl, then I will click this layer in order to select all these layers. There's a shortcut for it. If I want to select the 50s or hundreds of layers that comes in the sequence, what I can do is I can select this layer, then I will press shift, then I will click the topmost layer that I want to select, including the in between layers. So I will click on green circle. You can see that the blue circle have also been selected. So now I need to group these layers. In order to group these layers, what I can do now, I can click on this icon in order to group this layer. So you can see that it has been under the new group has been created. In order to move these layers onto that group, what I can do now, I can select these layers and then drag these layers onto these layers. So you can see that all those layers are under this group 1. I can change its name to circles. Alright, so it's always a good practice if you work well with layers by grouping the layers and so on. Alright, so I have made this layers. There is a shortcut for creating the group of the layers. What you need to do, you need to select particular layers and then press Ctrl plus G in order to create group, and at the same time apply those layers under that group. Alright, so you can see that it now circles layers are under this group. So I hope that you have liked this video. This was all for this part. Make sure you subscribe this channel for more videos. In the next part I will explain more about layers, and then I will and so this was all for this part. In the next part I will talk more about layers. So in the next part I will make a smiley face with the help of layers. So make sure to subscribe this channel and stay tuned. See you in the next part. Thanks.